Hey guys, and welcome to my new episode of my From the Island series. In the previous episode, we continue to plod on with our clue scroll items on the way to the 50ml final mark, and hopefully we'll make some progress towards that in this episode. So in the previous episode, we did flare trousers, ham joint, katanas, fire manacles, and a couple of god robe sets, and we'll just keep plodding on in this episode, and hopefully we'll get there. Now I'm hoping it will only be a few more episodes of this series to make that 50ml. And after 50ml, we will take this account and move it in a different direction. Now, I'm thinking a progress series, but again, I'm putting it in your guys' hands. Leave these suggestions on what you'd like to see, whether you'd like to see Road to Max, PK account, anything, or whether we'll just use that 50ml and see what we can do in terms of money making outside the GE and in the GE. But anyway, for this episode, so we're just going to take out all our slots for all our cells, which we've had a few buys as well, and we're just going to double check margins and also put in new offers as well, just to get this started. So spike manacles, since we brought it in a couple of episodes ago, have done okay, along with the sandals as well. They aren't the best profits, but they are very consistent and very quick during certain times, and I think now I'm in the peak time, best time where I've got most players on as well, so spike manacles are moving quite quick. So just going to put in an offer there, and hopefully they can shift quick along with the sandals. So there are some clue scroll items which are just totally random, and one of them is the rainbow, which is basically a bow which is a fish. And this is a item which has no real use, no real cosmetic appeal, but does seem to have a decent flip margin. So here you can see it's got a 66k flip margin, which for us is a lot better than what we're doing all apart from ham joints and flare trousers, and a lot less of a buying price. So we're going to try and see how that does, and again, just going through my G history, we are always trying to find different items. I'm hoping one day that kilt can pull off a decent margin because I think it's very low volume and has a lot of demand by the high risk community, and we can pull some decent margins off it. So we're going to go a bit in with the rainbows, 20 of them, and we'll see how we go. So we're at a current value at the minute of 38.5 mil, which is not bad. We really are getting there. Some episodes have been a real plod and we've only made about a mil or two, but I'm hoping in 3 episodes we can sort of finish this up and get towards the end, and then we can see where we go. Now, gilded and some of the free-to-play items as well can sometimes outperform the pay-to-play items. So that's why we're going to have a quick sort of look through and see what prices they are and what sort of flip margins they are, and see if they are actually doing what some of the pay-to-play items aren't. So the free-to-play items weren't actually that good in the end. I mean, when we were doing them in the early episodes, they were really good for free-to-play because they were giving us the max profit from our slot. But in terms of what we've got now, they're not the best. The rainbows actually bought, so we've got 20 of them. So that's a decent chunk of our change at the minute. We're quite lucky where we've got a bit of cash to throw around, and hopefully if we get this margin pulled off, we'll get a mil or two out of the rainbows. The flare trousers, as always, are just consistent. They do have their down periods, but now I've learned just to leave them in the GE. And eventually they will sell just because it's such a low volume item and a very low limit item as well. Sometimes if they're not going to sell for the price I want, or to break even, or to make decent enough profit, I just leave them in the GE at a high price, and then eventually the price will get there and they will sell. So we'll just put another 3 in for that. Just having it as a 4 limit is not the best because normally I use one of them just to check the price, which means we've only got 3 left to really flip off, and 2 of them will be profits. And the other one will just pay off what we've lost checking the margin. Katanas though, as always worth checking just because sometimes they have a major decrease and they can really sort of falter and change during the days. No reason why. After sort of dealing with items for so long, you start to understand the trends and sort of understand how stuff will go down and what will come up as a result. The god robe tops and legs are really good because certain ones will fall at one point whereas others will rise. It's just sort of picking out which ones will do so, and you can make a fair bit of money from it. But yeah, we're not doing too bad. Ham joints, we're just going to put another offer in to buy because they are taking a while to sell, and we'll come out with any updates. So I saw that the D-hide boots had a bit of a decent margin, and they're not normally an item I like to try. I think the armor D-hide boots do have a purpose and they do have a demand, along with the Zami and the other gods as well, but I think Armor, Zami and Sara are the 3 which have really sort of got the demand due to the god protection. I've not really touched the boots yet because I think they were a bit too pricey and they'd only be the one-offs, but because we've got a bit more cash now, we can give them a try and see how well they perform, and if they do better than what I'm hoping they will do, we can keep them in the fold of our items. So I'm going to try Armor. I'm going to try and find a decent margin for it as well. If it's not very good, we won't touch it and we'll move on to something else. But along with armor, we're going to try Zamorak as well and see how they perform. If they're decent, which I'm hoping it will be, yeah, we'll keep going. But I'll update you on what they do sell for as well. So that was a bit quicker than what I was expecting, but the armor boots and the Zami boots actually did buy. Now that's a fair chunk of change out of our money, but if these can perform, we can do what we've done similar to the ham joints and the flare trousers, where we can put a bit more money in these 2 items and then just for the remaining 4 slots, go back to the sort of lower end clue scroll items like the robe tops, but we've been doing them anyway. I don't really like cash sitting in my info. I think we can just move up in a tier of clue scroll items and just flip something with a bigger margin. Now the rainbows, I think we've been caught out on. Again, very niche items do have a volatile market. I think we might have bought them at the peak, and at the minute we're going to lose some money by the look of it. But just checking the margin, it's not too bad. We'll still get a little bit of money out of them, but nowhere near what we were thinking. But yeah, I'll leave them in a GE and see how they go. You might see in my info as well, I do have a item from Trailblazers. Now I did play Trailblazers on this account, and I was going to make a series about it, but it didn't end very well because I sort of lost interest. So that's why it's there. I'll probably keep it with the other items below just to show it's like a bit of a memento. And in the meantime, we'll just keep burning through what items we've had. So the flare trousers bought, they had a bit of a poor margin. So because we've got a bit of cash left, we'll just check where they are at the minute and go from there. The manacles weren't too bad. They performed quite well, and hopefully we'll just put them back in. And yeah, that's pretty much been the past couple of episodes. I know it's been a bit samey with recycling through the same items, but I'm hoping like things like God D'hide boots can pick up. Maybe we can start doing God D'hide sets. I know that's a bit of a moneymaker where you buy the singular pieces and put them together and make the sets. But we'll try that after our 50 million end goal. But that will be the end of this episode. We've basically just made a couple mil again and just plodded on. The boots, the God boots did sell a lot quicker and bought a lot quicker than I thought they would. Although at the minute I'm still waiting for Zami to sell on that first sort of round. The armor ones, we've already done 1 set already and we're in for a 2nd set. So they're not going too bad, and we'll see if they continue to sell. But that's pretty much the end of this episode. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If not, please let me know why, or let me know any feedback in regard to the episodes. We're nearly there now towards the end goal. I'm thinking we're only sort of about 10 mil off, so we are making progress. So I'd like to do it in 2 episodes. It might be 3 depending on how well everything flips. But yeah, hopefully the rainbows as well do sell. They seem to be a bit of a dead clue scroll item, which sometimes you get, but that's what you get sometimes with picking some of the more obscure items. They can either make you a lot of money or you buy them at a random price which no one touches and then you're stuck with them. But all I'll keep doing is just slowly bringing the price down until we find something we can get rid of them, or I'll hold them until they peak again. But we'll let you know what we're doing anyway. But if you've enjoyed, please leave a like. If you've enjoyed any of my other videos, please subscribe. Not long until the end of this series and we'll move on to something new. But I hope you've enjoyed and we'll see you in the next episode.